Welcome to the Martin Marietta Center for the Performing Arts. Please take a moment to identify the nearest illuminated exit door. In the event of an emergency, proceed calmly to an exit and await further instructions from venue personnel. To avoid disturbing other guests, please silence your cell phones. For additional questions and guidance, please speak with a member of our team. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Good evening. I'm Alice Coe, Student Council Senior Class President for this year. Please stand for the National Anthem and the Student Creed. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's Please remain standing for our student creed. If you'd like to join along, the student creed is on the back of the program. I represent the values of Wake STEM. I respect the community, people, and places around me. I embrace diversity and different perspectives. I come to school with optimism and an eagerness to learn. I acknowledge my mistakes and take pride in my accomplishments. I advocate for myself and others. I believe in my school and our staff. I believe in my classmates, and I believe in myself. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce our principal, Dr. Drew Ware.
Good evening, and welcome to the Wake STEM family. Esteemed guests, family members, business partners, and most importantly, the students, the graduating class of 2025. I would like to take this moment to introduce our guest, who will please stand when your name is called. I ask the audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Today with us, we have the Superintendent of Wake County Public School System, Dr. Robert Taylor. From the Wake County Public School System Board of Education, we have Board Vice Chair Tyler Swanson. We have special guests from the greater community. We have from the City of Raleigh, Council Member Corey Branch. From the Superintendent's Leadership Team, we have Dr. Clint Robinson, Chief of Staff and Strategic Planning. We have Mark Strickland, Chief of Facilities and Operations. We have James Overman, Southeastern Area Superintendent. We have Glenn Carroza, Assistant Superintendent for School Choice, Planning, and Assignment. From Wake STEM's Business Advisory Board, we have Ashley Persons, North Carolina State University and Wake STEM College Liaison. And we also have several other BAB members. We have Chuck Evans and Stephen Rice. So thank you for taking the time to join us today, and let's give them a big round of applause. Next on my list of announcements is an absolutely huge celebration. As of right now, our graduates have collectively received over $1,984,459 in scholarships and grants. That is impressive. Let's give them a big round of applause. So family, friends, teachers, and staff of these amazing graduates, I want to thank you first off. You have made this journey possible for these Wake STEM students. Your support and your guidance is a major reason we are here today. So thank you so much. Graduating class of 2025, which is, by the way, the largest graduating class in Wake STEM history, as I look out and see how all of you have grown over the years, it brings joy to my heart. There's even one of you out there that I met over 13 years ago. It was my first principal position at Root Elementary, and it was her first day of kindergarten. And that's just a great reminder that the paths we take are winding, and we never know who we are going to meet again along the way. I come today with so much pride in seeing what amazing young adults you have all grown into, and I can't wait to see what wonderful things your future has in store for you. So given this is my last time in front of you, I wanted to share one more, because there have been so many, insightful and poignant thoughts with you that will really make you think. So are y'all ready? Okay, we are all different. I know, earth-shattering, right? Because of course we're all different. We look different from one another, we act differently, we have different preferences and motivations, we even have different hairstyles, though very few can match what I have going on up here. It's almost the same thing that you learned when you were in kindergarten. We may be different on the outside, but we're all the same on the inside. But actually, it turns out we are not. And that's my point I want to make for you today. We are a lot more different inside than you might think. And we can use those differences to work with others to do amazing things. So to highlight this, I would like each of you in this room today to close your eyes. No peeking. I'm watching. There you go. Imagine the freshest, ripest, most delicious red apple that you have ever seen. Capture that picture in your head. Okay. Now open your eyes, and I bet for some of you, you saw a red, juicy apple so detailed and so delicious that maybe you even started to drool a little bit. For others, you saw an apple, you knew it was an apple, but it wasn't the same experience as seeing one in real life. And for a few of us, me included, you saw nothing at all. I know when I close my eyes, I just see the light filtering through my eyelids, but there is no apple. And the reason is, like somewhere between 1% and 4% of the population, I have what they call aphantasia. I cannot visualize. Those of you who saw an amazingly vibrant image, you might have hyperphantasia. And everyone else, you probably fall somewhere on the spectrum in between. Now, these aren't disorders. They're just a different way that our brains work. Some of us can visualize, and some of us cannot. But for people who can create a visual picture in their mind, it is difficult to imagine a world without the ability to visualize. My wife still finds it hard to believe I cannot create a picture in my mind. For those of us that can't visualize or see very limited images, it's hard for us to even comprehend what it would be like to paint a detailed picture in our brains. This aphantasia, hyperphantasia spectrum is just one of many ways that our minds work differently at their core. We are basically walking around with our very own 3-pound universe. Our brain is isolated in our skull and only takes in information from our senses. Because we do not really know how other people's brains work, we assume they work like ours. Neuroscience is revealing that this assumption is faulty. One could look at this as a problem, that our brains work differently, and because we look at it that our differences make working together more difficult. But what if these differences can be our superpower? Whether we're in a group or an organization, in a society, or even as a species. I believe different ways of thinking and solving problems has allowed us to tackle a wide variety of issues all throughout our past. So I challenge you, when someone is thinking or acting differently than you would, remember that what your mind does is it builds a mental model of what's occurring. The scaffolding for that mental model relies on the specific way that your mind thinks, feels, and processes information. The assumptions we tend to make as we build that model is that other people are thinking, feeling, and processing information in the same way we do. Reacting based on that model our minds have created can lead us to act or speak in a way that reinforces incorrect initial assumptions. I propose that our response should not be based on this model of the situation we have created. I propose that we dig deeper, that we suspend certainty. I propose that we pause and then lead with questions. When we work with the mindset of let me understand a perspective or a behavior, a statement or a thought, before we judge it, then in the end, our response is often more measured and impactful. And the results are more likely to benefit everyone involved. This allows our differences to shine, though making the whole greater than the sum of our parts. So now that I've shared with you one 3-pound universe with another, I ask you all to close your eyes one more time. I want you to imagine these students walking across this stage, shaking my hand and smiling in front of all of you. Now, whether you see that picture clearly in your mind's eye or you don't see anything at all, but just feel what it's going to be like, we can all agree, it will be one fantastic moment. Thank you, graduating class of 2025, for all the memories. You will be missed and will always have a home at Wake STEM. Thank you. I would like to introduce Ms. Sophia Overdeep, our Assistant Principal of Instruction at Wake STEM.
Good evening. I'm honored to introduce our 2025 12th grade graduation speaker, someone who embodies the heart, the hustle, and spirit of Wake STEM Early College High School. Julian Fernandez is a dedicated student, a creative leader, and an unwaveringly positive presence in our community. Whether he's helping classmates sharpen their presentation skills through the workshop, guiding campus tours as a student ambassador, or serving others through organizations like Brown Bag Ministry, Julian leads with purpose and passion. From earning his third degree black belt to being crowned prom king, Julian shows us that strength comes in many forms. This fall, he'll be taking his talents and his signature energy to UNC Chapel Hill. Please welcome to the stage your classmate and friend, Julian Fernandez.
Ma, hopefully I look okay. All right. Good evening to all honored guests, fellow graduates, and especially the exceptional faculty and proud family that have motivated and inspired us. For many, the guidance these role models have provided us with has brought us to achieve great things, such as this moment right here, right now. The first thing I remember my parents telling me when my time at Wake STEM began was this: never assume you're the smartest in the room. It's probably the only thing you could have told that big-headed 8th grade me who thought that high school was gonna be just as easy as online middle school was. And it was very swiftly that I was proven wrong. Ms. Parker gave me my first B in a class. The only thing I was understanding in Python was eating chips and snacks. And worst of all, it felt like everyone else was racing miles ahead of me. And while at the time I felt this problem was singular to just me, I soon learned that many of my classmates felt the same about other subjects. And to their defense, 1984 is a boring read. For anyone new around here, my graduating class is very competitive. Today, I am gathered with some of the smartest minds my age: full-ride scholarship architects, soccer club founders, nonprofit creators, and even a published author who really wants to alter Korean politics. And while I stand here honored to even be graduating in the same class as these scholars, a naive younger version of myself once saw these same people as a threat to purpose. Kendrick Lamar once bluntly stated, "I deserve it all," a statement that many would argue is justified considering Lamar's status as a generational lyricist and artist. I once talked to myself with similar affirmations, but it wasn't long until I started to feel lost and searching for purpose amongst these brilliant minds. What I soon realized was that saying that my parents told me at the start of high school wasn't to bring me down and humble me to a low point. It was to emphasize the importance of individual strengths. Everyone is allowed to be the smartest in the room, each for different reasons. Now, the saying everyone has different strengths might be nailed into everyone's head by now, but it wasn't until I really started looking for examples that I started to appreciate the meaning of that saying. Coming from two first-generation pharmacists, it's to my parents' joking disappointment that I don't like science. But at the same time, I know my way around a Spotify playlist, and I know my mom is very grateful that I can make a party mix. So, as we stand here and face a new reality, I want you to think about this. Kendrick Lamar may be a generational lyricist, but no one has ever asked him if he knows his way around a spreadsheet. LeBron might be the best basketball player, but no one's ever asked him if he knows how to solve a definite integral. Whether you are a first-generation engineering student or a master of Italian brain rot, you each have individual strengths that differentiate you from everyone in this room and the world. So once more, when you guys are going out in the world, surrounded by people who may seem like they're better at you and everything, or they may be rivals, I will ask each one of my classmates to motivate themselves with this very statement. As Kendrick Lamar put it, tell me why you think you deserve the greatest of all time. I love you all.
Again, it is my distinguished honor to introduce one of Wake STEM Early College High School's brightest stars from the class of 2025, Miss Zoe Carter. Zoe is a powerhouse of creativity, leadership, and compassion. Her talents stretch from the stage to the research lab. She served as president of the National Honor Society, designed for the Yearbook Club, volunteered in her community, and conducted civil engineering research while maintaining top-tier academics. This fall, Zoe will attend the Wright College, North Carolina State University, as a recipient of the prestigious G.H. and Ruth F. Singleton Scholarship and the Goodnight Scholarship, and will join the University Honors Program. She is a leader and an artist, a scholar, and a very kind spirit who leaves every space better than she found it. Please join me in welcoming Zoe Carter as your 2025 graduation speaker for the 13th grade.
As my grade knows, we have tried to take a coordinated matching yearbook photo for like 3 years now and somehow failed every time. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna take our first and the last successful matching group photo real quick with the seniors. Make sure to smile. Okay, hold on. Thank you. Before I do start, I just want to say how honored I am that the majority of my super senior class put me up here today to speak on their behalf, even though I'm pretty sure they did not consider this sheer amount of stage fright that I'd be put through. But before we start talking about graduation, I'd like to take us back to where it all began. Now, I have to mention that we started high school in the middle of COVID, and we were also the first class Dr. Ware ever had to deal with. I can't imagine what he was thinking when he had to get our whole grade on a Zoom call just to talk about Discord. Yeah, and we still used it before, during, and after class anyway. Sorry, Dr. Ware. But in our defense, in the middle of a pandemic, it was one of the few ways we actually connected, so no regrets. After playing a whole lot of video games, hearing the word breakout room every day, frequently making Google Jamboards and turning in a bunch of Google Classroom assignments, may it rest in peace, we made it to sophomore year when we were finally forced to see each other in person. We were actually supposed to be in the new Wake STEM building, but the project managers, and yes, we know a thing or two about that, forgot one of the most important parts of a project, the timeline. So instead, we ended up at the Cherry building. I'll always remember the early mornings watching the sun come up at Dorothea Dix, squeezing out of one front door at the end of the school day, and the Foursquare we played at lunch. Second semester came, and we finally moved to the new building, which was like 90% glass. Kept up the Foursquare, had yet another grade level project, and way too many gizmos, and suddenly it was junior year. And listen, no one has coined the term junioritis yet, but someone needs to, because that year was rough. For most of us, it was our first experience with AP classes, which meant never knowing what was going on, at least for me, and then taking the exam a semester after we learned the content. Junior year was also the start of NC State classes, which sounded exciting at first, but soon wasn't. At least we shared a lot of laughter on the bus, had what I think was our best prom, bonded over making fun of Gatsby characters, and ate biology experiments in Ms. Baker's class. Then we capped it all off with unpaid or barely paid internships, but honestly, I think that's when we started setting ourselves up for the future. By senior year, 3 years of early college stress had aged us at least a decade, and we finally got to experience senioritis in full force. Luckily, we had Kendrick, Beyonce, and Taylor Swift as the soundtrack to our suffering, complete with weekly check-ins and college interims. Ms. Bailey's class conversations definitely made an impression, but so did we when our grade won the nationwide Intuit Finance Challenge. And before we knew it, after a bunch of sweet treats and side quests, we were saying goodbye to half of our grade as we approached our 5th and final year here at Wake STEM. And for me, super senior year came with super senioritis. Taking NC State physics while applying to college is no joke. We had more freedom, more interims, more weekly check-ins, and 1 hour a month to bond during monthly super senior meetings. And somehow all of that brought us here, to the very moment we've all been waiting for. We've shared our last laugh in a classroom and walked the halls of Wake STEM for what must be the last time. And when I think about everything we've been through, I see lasting memories and moments I know I'll carry with me forever. But I also see the ways in which we were tested, pushed, stretched, and strengthened beyond what we thought we could take. We faced hard exams and high expectations while quietly dealing with mental health challenges, imposter syndrome, and figuring out who we even are. And today, I see a graduating class who overcame battles, internal and external. Take a moment to think about all the things you never thought you'd get through. The class that almost broke you, the friendship that hurt, the isolation of the pandemic. And then remember, you did get through it, and you're stronger now because of it. If there's 3 things I hope you take away from this speech, it's these. 1, you add something to this world that nobody else can. So don't spend your life hating how you look or how deeply you feel things. Give yourself grace when you make mistakes and patience when things don't work out the way that you hoped. 2, you are more capable and so much more deserving than you think. So don't sell yourself short. Take the risk, try the thing, go after what you want, even if it's scary or outside of your comfort zone. You are allowed to take up space, to explore, and to be more than just one thing. And even when you feel like you don't belong, you do. You are so incredibly worthy of good things. And 3, don't rush the journey that you are on. Be grateful for all the things you experience on the way to achieving your goals. Life isn't about working toward the next thing. It's about gradually learning who you are, one step at a time. And if I left something out of this speech, well, they did only give me a few minutes. Just hold your own high school memories close, or don't, because there are definitely some parts I want to forget too. But truly, thank you so much to my peers, mentors, teachers, staff, and especially my family. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of my journey and helping shape who I am. We finally made it. Congratulations, class of 2025.
As we prepare to present the diplomas, we ask you to respect the dignity of this ceremony. Our seniors have worked extremely hard to reach this milestone. Each senior and his or her respective family deserve the right to hear the student's name as it is called. We share your excitement and are also excited and happy for your family. Still, please refrain from clapping, yelling, or calling out names during the presentation of diplomas, because disruptive noises prevent other families from hearing the names of seniors that follow. We will give you an opportunity to recognize these graduates properly after all names have been called. Let's give our graduates the dignified and special ceremony they and you deserve. Thank you in advance for your cooperation. Now I would like to introduce our Dean of Students, Mr. Ryan Haymore, as he reads the names while we present the diplomas to our graduates.
At this time, I hereby certify to the Wake County Board of Education that the seniors seated before us have met all state and local graduation requirements. We will now begin the presentation of diplomas to the class of 2025. Isabel Carol Alford. Faris Muhammad Ali. Hannah Lynn Anzalone. Avery James Bennett. Delaney Ann Blatchford. Luke Alexander Briley. Cooper John Carroza. Zoe Olivia Carter. Santi Mariel Castro Sanchez. Marquise Demond Jonathan Cates, Jr. Dana Sofia Celis Jimenez. Bianca Camille Chua. Anya Dar. Talia Dominguez Martinez. Godfrey Ketuchukwu Ejindu. Javier Alejandro Esquivel. Melanie Esquivel Lopez. Julian Alexander Fernandez. Danny Paul Fierro. Colin Francis Fitzpatrick. Sarah Kate Fraley. Charles Ellis Fryer III. Emmanuel de Jesus Gonzalez Munoz. Adeline Gonzalez Rincon. Raymond Hernandez Cruz. Harris Ethan Hunt. Jayadev Jayaprakash. Everett Jensen. Victor Octavio Jimenez Pucheta. Lydia Irene Johnson. Jackson Scott Jones Slater. Noah Cornerstone Jew. Noel Katunilatu Kurian. Roy Hamilton King III. Alice Yoon Ko. Nathan Lee. Samuel Isaac Lewis. Jasmine Tina Marie Little. Jasmine Ben Lee. Joshua Leonardo Mares. Hanan Abdulbari Mashal. Jasmine Matut. Ella Louise Messinger. Dante Kobe Morgan. Spencer Avery Moye. Rachel Mukila Muwamba. Daniela Paez. Jamila Pagan. Danielle Celeste Panzo. Chris Jegan Peter. Aiden Sawyer Petty. Dylan Panette. Emilio Moises Ramirez. Alex Ramirez Lugo. Ashley Rachel Reyes Rivera. Brisa Reina Lopez. Matthew Robinson. Mariela Yaneth Rubio Reyes. Casey Tula Sanchez Shermally. Soledad Damtotin Sandani. Gina Sang Vasharakul. Jaden Mackay Smith. Landon Brock Smith. Aaliyah Yvonne Smith Debnam. Ved Rama Srivatsa. Alice Stauffer. Elizabeth Jean Sully. Logan Michael Sully. Ashna Hemant Surti. Colton Asher Swigert. Shom Vimal Taylor. Katie Olivia Tudor. Carly Ann Reagan Underwood. Beckett Andrew Vayu. Jackson William Walsh. Caleb Tafessa Waldu. Families and guests, at this time, let us recognize the students for all their hard work with a big round of applause.
Graduates, please stand. At this time, I would like to invite our graduate speakers to the center of the stage to lead us in turning the tassels. By the authority vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Wake County Board of Education, I pronounce you graduates of Wake STEM Early College High School, class of 2025. Turn your tassels and congratulations.